to it. You know, we were kind of forced to answer that by just being able to go forward.
Yeah. You have a sandbag in the Carmilla. These, oh my god, the crazy Twisted Minds. They get, all right. Harriet and Eve alone, they're already countered by the Esmeralda, and they triple down on it with the Lapu-Lapu. And by the way, this Esmeralda might be gold or EXP, but I think since Benikitty is currently the one assigned,
slightly gold.
Yep.
So it's gonna be facing the Harriet. So gold Esmeralda.
And we've seen this in the midst of Season 7,
Exactly.
a little bit of Season 8, wherein you pick an Esmeralda, you know it should be the Expilator, but you throw into the gold thing just to win the matchup.
And Benikitty has been known as a good Esmeralda player.
Okay.
Back in the day.
Is this one way to equalize that whole Nakshiesszzz is the better gold laner 1v1?
Yes, 100%. It's difficult to play Harriet into Esmeralda.
Well, we'll find out here. We're getting ready to jump in our first match of 3 here for Saturday. Let's go ahead and find out who's going to get the first blood in this best of 3. Will it be TNC or Twisted Minds? Again, a little bit of a flashback here on the draft from Twisted. It's Sensui in the jungle this time. It's a Twist in the jungle. Will it be enough to secure another win under their belt? We will find out.
The more I think about it, this Esmeralda pick just makes so much more sense. Akai also generates a lot of shields. You can also say the same for this for this Kalea. Oh my god.
If anything, Kalea is the least one who should be worried because she actually heals.
Yeah.
Everyone else gets natural shields.
That's right.
It's interesting too because even looking, oh hold on, early on he's going to be fine. So have we seen the Carmilla yet? This wasn't a debut pick, right? I'm trying to think if this is a debut for MPL.
It is a debut pick.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Gold lane Esmeralda is for sure, though.
Yeah, gold lane Esmeralda, which I guess in logic it makes sense to work here. Whole lot of early poking down. Kaloy will get dragged back. He's going to be fine. The other thing too for TNC, they just got that one Purify, so could be an advantage that maybe Kaloy gets to go ahead and play with later on. Part of the job, again, will be for him to go ahead and get those Tsunami Slams down. Or potentially, even if they just get Lancey's Purify down, then it might be an easy pick-off for Twisted.
And this is a draft that you would say for TNC that they prepared in a way that they just really wanted to counter the heroes of Twisted Minds. I'm not sure if this will work, or I'm not entirely sure if this will be even repeated at all. I think that this Esmeralda Golden is just an exact counter to what Twisted Minds is trying to do.
Yeah, so many shields for the taking here. First objective will be up shortly. I think this is also the thing too, like, yeah, Nakshiesszzz shouldn't have any... Honestly, he's gonna have a hard time. Maybe not like any fun at all in that gold lane.
Straight up oppressive.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just gonna be kind of shut down in a way where then he's gonna have to look for the contributions later on for the fights. But here's the first turtle.
Oh.
Half health.
Mount Shocker. Zyda knows where exactly everyone is. Turtle at a 10th of its health. Real manipulation by Sean. Sensui with the secure heavy spin. Isolating 3-Mar. Still wants to go in. The flicker away. The Crimson Beacon forward. Lancey goes ahead. Chokes down this big panda. The Dragon Warrior falls. Zyda takes down Sensui alongside Kaloy. Double kill for TNC. Sean getting chased down. The flicker from Sean. Twisted Minds refuses to give more kills over. The turtle for 2.
Yeah. It's going to be a big play coming out from TNC. But you can still have to commend Sensui with that turtle security. And despite having the dance, it's not going to be enough for Twisted Minds, because I think that there is a little bit of an anti-synergy between Akai as well as an Eve. And the only reason why Nakshiesszzz is leading by a little bit over Benikitty is that Benikitty went to the fight.
Yeah.
And I think that Benikitty does not actually need to get in there. He forced a flicker from Sean, but apart from that, he kind of let go of the grip that he has on Nakshiesszzz.
I was kind of surprised that he decided to rotate up there, but maybe it was just for safety purposes. Again, you know, his purpose on this Esmeralda is go ahead and eat into some of these shields, but with TNC getting that minor advantage, they get themselves a little bit of lead here. First item being locked in. Now Zyda, after that double kill, he's got a Hunter Strike available now, and we'll have to see how Sensui decides to also plan to us. He is trying to take what he can, but you know, I think this is almost a risk in itself, but it looks like Twisted might want to make a play down here on Benny. As you see Sensui stutter stepping forward towards his turret, the rest of Twisted rotating down.
The Mamba does have his back. Benikitty here, already dropping the Zaman force from Nosha. So they're fine. Again, they got a response.
This is a turtle fight. And Sensui is a level behind Zaida. I remember back in Season 12 when it was a utility jungler war, the real weakness of Anakai is when he is under farm. He has to just keep on farming because in terms of recovery farm, Akai is pretty bad at that.
Yeah, which you can already see, right? Zaida's not too far from that level 8. They're going to fight for the turtle here, though. It's half health.
Down to the 10th, Mountain Shocker looking for that boat, throwing it over. Sensui still secures, holding on to that heavy spin. Benikudi looking for people to dance onto. Bravest Fighter. Lansu flickers out. And it looks like Twisted Minds are going to keep themselves safe. Oh, the tip of that real-world manipulation, unable to save Sensui. Tsunami Slam purified over. Lancey looking for the choke. Twisted Minds, less casualties with the same response.
And even after that turtle fight, what TNC exactly did afterwards is just to focus on heroes, and then Zaida just went on to, again, invade the farm of Twisted Minds. The lead might not be so much for TNC right now, but you can already feel the adverse effects of it because Zaida is taking away farm from Sensui after me saying the fact that the Akai does not have a good amount of recovery when it comes to farm.
Well, this is interesting because, I mean, still, Sensui is living up to the fact that we said he can lock down objectives, you know, and he's done that 2 for 2 now for the Turtles. Maybe they're in a better fighting form for the third Turtle because, you know, what you do see is when those fights break out, Twisted is mostly just disengaging because it seems like TNC's lineup is just so much better in these early skirmishes, these early fights, and Twisted doesn't really have that damage to even get through that. Or if they're clumped up together and you're going against a Carmilla, for example, or even the Jushin over there, you're going to put yourself in an unfavorable position. So really, it almost seems like the plan for Twisted is to hope that Nasha's eventually online, you know, that they can play into this Harith.
But the real question is, will that eventually be worth it? Is it enough to say that Nosha getting online is an automatic win for Twisted? Because it's not like TNC is going to take it lying down. They're still going to fight back.
Yeah. And by the way, we just talked about like how much there is farm resource, you know, stolen. 460 for TNC, only 100 for Sensui. That nets 300 in favor of TNC. But because it's a stolen amount of farm, you kind of have to double that up.
Yeah.
It's a big swing.
It's a big swing.
It's 300 plus, 300 minus.
Exactly.
Uh-oh. There's a flicker out, so they get that. This third Turtle's up, though. This is going to be a full-on fight for this third one.
No aggressive flickers in, no Tsunami Slams out of nowhere. Lands with the Bravest Fighter. Already dropped that boat from that Mountain Shocker. Sensui secures it. 3 out of 3. Twisted Mind scores. Kaloi bites the dust. Sensui very low. Sensui might get away with it. Not if Benikudi has something to say. Real world manipulation can't save him. Twice in a row. TNC, no casualties. Twisted, lose 2. The same equation as every Turtle since.
Oh, no.
About 10,000 damage dealt by Sean on that fight, but it wasn't enough. They were just whittling down the members of TNC, but TNC are healing up. And Twisted Minds are just losing control of this game, despite them getting 3 Turtles.
It's crazy. I mean, I like to see the Eve, man, but it's just like every single time, it's like just a little bit of damage is lacking there. Regardless of if she was just recently buffed a little bit here, you know, so many low health bars from TNC got away from that fight. And, you know, Kaloi also, it seems like Kaloi's in a position where he's just trying to get those Tsunami Slams down. He's trying to set something up, but then there's no one really there to capitalize on that. And even if someone was, they would get punished too. So it's just, once again, it's one of those things that Twisted Minds has to figure out. They lose that top turret now, so they trade it across the map, while Twisted got the bottom one down with TNC. So we'll see how they kind of transition to this portion of the game. Now that all the Turtles are secured, maybe a part of this too. Twisted Minds, given how it's not a huge kill game, but they don't have any kills yet on the board. They've secured themselves to 3 Turtles and 1 turret. They're just kind of staying into this. You know, it's not completely one-sided in favor of TNC, but a lot of these fights, when we see them break out, is TNC favorable.
One thing that Twisted Minds should be focused right now on is this Lord. I feel like after winning 3 Turtles, you always have to get that first Lord in order for you to at least get a little bit of some footing in this mid-game, especially because that Lord will allow you to push some waves.
Man, this is crazy too. Damage meter wise, Sean's there. Like when does this Eve really come online? Does she just need the 2 items now or 3?
I think that's the main buff that she got from the recent patches. She's more of a DPS battle type mage. Her utility is still through the roof, but she deals more damage. But you're right, that's the big question is, what's the finishing blow? What are they trying to get here? Lord Don secured. Lord at less than half health. Sensui looking for an in. That river, he dashes through. Oh, Lansu, they all got spotted here. Zaida right on point, still holding onto that boat. Where's the stun? The dance continues.
All right, continues on. Quarter of the health here left on this Lord. They're going to have to force a fight anyway.
Benny with a falling star moon to the back.
Ooh.
Compromises Naksha, securing the Lord. Naksha helping Sensui. And now look at this. Lancy drops a Crimson Beak and down goes Kaloi. Lansu holding on to 3 members. Make that 4. 3 more in the back line. Suffers a death. Lansu falls 2 for 1. TNC concedes the Lord, but they still win the trade.
Well, Sean will be here for the defense. This is important. Don't lose your turret.
Oh,
That's
man.
exactly what they're doing. They will lose some of their jungle, maybe, but at least they will be breathing even after that Lord defeat. I mean, they got the Lord, but the Lord fight wasn't in their favor. However, that is actually more than I'm actually surprised how Twisted Minds played that box, especially because they were able to get to the back lines.
Whoa, the Mamba here
Nice Purify, by the way.
gets away. Close call. Naksha
Holy
drops the
fuck,
Diamond Force.
Purify.
They continue the fight. That boat dropped on Sensui's head. Point blank. Ben Cutie charging up a dance. Falling Star Moon, no one home. Answers right into Naksha's face. Tsunami slam onto the storm. The force of nature quelled. One more, Lansu. Knocked up. Damage from Zaida. Tastes a little bit of it. Naksha coming in. Diamond Force. The pin down the heavy spin. 3 more falls. Naksha with the heavy. Artillery, the assaults. Long range, Lancy backs off. Turret taken via Lord up top.
Wow, wow. For the first time, we see Twisted Minds finally getting the pendulum in their favor after locking down all the objectives and the Lord. They finally get to march down the mid lane and take a couple turrets.
And we gotta credit Naksha's positioning after that. Because of his positioning, he was able to output an immense amount of damage onto Benny Cutie, who only has the Oracle as the magic defense. Because of the pure damage of Naksha, he's able to get away and away from the from the shields. Actually,
Looking for the punish. Benny Cutie dancing through all the members. Up Twisted Minds. Down goes Naksha. Put that baby boy to sleep. Lansu falls as well. 2 for free. TNC clapping back.
Man, they stayed maybe a little bit too long there. So
Yeah,
Twisted
they did.
Minds, for a moment, a very brief moment, they had about a 2.5k gold lead against TNC after getting all of those objectives. But they might have just lost the ground that they just gained.
I agree.
And gives TNC a good chance to go ahead and lead into this next Lord when it's up in about 40 seconds.
Yeah, Twisted Minds cannot afford that kind of mistake. They even had Sensui's ultimate when that happened, and I think that Twisted Minds did not sacrifice the correct pieces for them to get out. I'm pretty sure Naksha should have been out there as soon as possible, but they weren't able to do so. They still have all of their pieces come the next Lord, but they have to be very careful. It's difficult to pull off what they did in the first Lord, because TNC might have read through that. If they study that correctly, they will change their positioning come the next Lord. And Twisted Minds might not be able to pull off a second win.
We'll see here shortly. Lord coming up. You saw the Divine Glaive picked up too by Sean. So this was my question. Like, are 3 items what he needs to really pop off? So he's got those.
He's threatening right now.
Chakra's going to be used. Lancer jumps in.
Jumps into 3. Massive damage reduction. Can't do nothing. Lansu assassinates Zaida. In comes Benny Cutie dancing through. Lansu finally falls. Benny Cutie isolated with the heavy spin. Look at Naksha in the back. Dancing through 3 more. Taking him down. Benny falls. Sean 2. Chaknu the only one left. TNC in shambles. Twisted Minds kick him out of the Lord pit.
Naksha's still alive after all of that?
Oh my goodness. And it's because he knew that he had a window in that fight. Benny Cutie was away, and Benny Cutie is the only hero that can take out Naksha.
Oh dear God, the Mamba.
Can he do it again? Just like last time?
Distracting the waves. Zaida coming in. The wave welcomes it. TNC still alive.
It was enough. The Mamba did it again.
Oh my goodness. The classic Mamba distraction. He lured the minions. And in this time, the minion wave have spawned for their team. But now Chakra is not available in this Lord fight. Can Twisted Minds take this fast enough?
Yeah, they'll take this. Again, that last fight all started there really from Lansu. So what a decision to just jump on in as a brave fighter, basically, and make work. Found Zyda, and then so this all basically recovered the mistake we were just talking about. So now Twisted Minds gets themselves this next Lord. You gotta give it up to them. They have locked in all the objectives they needed to. 3 turtles, now 2 Lords. They're gonna get ready to march towards the base. They already got that base turret in the mid lane down, and they're in a good position to go ahead and punch this one in. So for TNC, really, you know, is this kind of composition good enough to withstand this pressure from this Lord push?
Oh, that's a good question, because I think wave clear wise, they don't have the fastest and they don't have enough reach as well. So this might not be easy for TNC. Well, they only also have 1 Purify. Benny Cutie only has sprint.
Here we go. One final attempt for TNC to defend. Lord in mid, a wave down bottom. Mountain Shocker already dropped, so they know exactly where everyone is. Lansu looking for an engagement, still holding on. The tail end. Still its ult intact. Oh, TNC able to burst down that Lord. Successful defense.
So far, so good. Still at the top wave. They might just try to get this last turn unless Kaloy jumps in.
Here it is. Tsunami Slam starting it out. Benny Cutie plus that festival. They're entangled, but there's not enough damage coming through. Benny catches a good bit. Nasha drops the Zaman Force. 3 more foes. Feeding up a kill to Lansu. Chaknu down as well, 3v5. They're trying. Down goes the final turret and the base up next. Twisted Minds taking game number 1.
Took them a little bit longer, but Twisted Minds will get it done in game 1. A little bit of a slow burn, but all the objectives were secured.
Benny Cutie picked up this Esmeralda in the gold lane that